Hello, Pilgrim.
What is all that noise in the distance?
The British are here.
The British?
Yep.
Why are they here?
In 1871, America went bankrupt and defaulted on her Civil War debts to the Bank of England and her foreign creditors. Britain claimed what was hers according to international law and incorporated the 10 square miles that is Washington, D.C.
Our capital was captured.
That's right, Pilgrim. Since then, private interests have been freely eating our substance.
Why didn't upstanding Americans protest the capture?
It all happened so fast, most didn't even realize it did. Afterwards, in the name of political continuity, greedy politicians started racking up government debt, overextending its budget. During the purposeful financial sabotage, private interests confiscated citizens' farmland and resources through unfair banking practices. Soon, the private interests that bankrupted the government also bankrupted the people.
How, then, does America pay its bills?
In 1933, the privately controlled U.S. government decided to foist the economic responsibility of the national debt from the government onto the people. Through House Joint Resolution 192, everyone was forced to exchange their lawful gold and silver currencies for unlawful, intrinsically worthless Federal Reserve notes, whimsically printed by white-collar criminals.
If they're intrinsically worthless, why can I buy stuff with them?
Because people choose to circulate them, despite the fact that they'd be worth less than the paper they printed on in the event of an economic collapse.
But Obama and Bernanke promised that won't happen.
Due to the corrupt nature of the Federal Reserve System, a collapse worse than any throughout American history is inevitable and imminent. Obama and Bernanke can't stop it from happening and are blatantly lying to minimize national panic. See, Pilgrim, the fewer people made aware of what's going on, the easier our country can be pulled out from under our feet.
Why does Obama want to destroy America?
He's a foreign, Muslim communist who has always hated America. His biological and ideological father was former Communist Party member and propagandist Frank Marshall Davis.
Obama's dad was a communist. Propagandist?
Affirmative. To satiate his own ego, Obama teamed with the private interests controlled by the elite, who've been hijacking our country since the 1871 takeover and have been trying to destroy our cherished American ideals to more efficiently victimize and enslave us.
He's aiding the destruction of America. His administration can't take our country from us, can it?
It'll try, and the UN will be by its side. First, it'll try to take our guns, just as Joseph Stalin, Adolf Hitler and Mao Zedong did before decimating their populations, cultures and national values. Then, it'll try to censor our internet.
Americans aren't going to tolerate either.
The government knows this and has been preparing since the 70s to try to defeat the coming, unprecedented civil insurrection. It wants the unrest to blossom into a second civil war between true patriots who'll be misleadingly portrayed as domestic terrorists and supporters of the banker-run, tyrannical government.
I'm not going to turn my guns in.
Millions won't, and the government wants to murder those who resist.
Murder me? Why does he want to take my guns right now?
The economy is about to collapse and a critical power shift is about to occur. The government doesn't want us to have any power on the other side of the shift, so we'll be hopelessly dependent on it to survive, like serfs within a castle's walls.
That doesn't sound good. Is there anything we can do?
If enough people come to understand what's going on, the power shift will fail. The evil oligarchs pushing it will be exposed as enemies of the Republic and will be dealt with accordingly.
How can enough people become informed?
The only way to wake enough up is to get them to learn why America has politically and financially degraded into its current state. MSNBC and the Obama administration are requiring citizens to stay ignorant and fearful so they don't have the good judgment to understand what's currently happening. That's why they're telling everyone to lean forward.
What could wake enough up fast enough?
A very accurate, detailed, well-written book would be the most effective tool. I just finished reading The Fall of America, The Rebellion Awakens. It's a novel designed to wake everyone up.
Do you think it will work?
Everything that people need to know in order to fend off the tyranny is in it. It could turn the tide, but only if enough people use it to wake up others.
Well, we need to do something. Are you sure it's the best tool we can use?
It's the best I'm aware of.
Are you sure a book can help? Most people prefer to make political decisions based on their emotions, not the reason.
And corporatized mainstream media use that fact to mind control those who wish to remain ignorant and fearful. Their egos begin to require the world of lies foisted upon them. Mainstream media constantly try to blur the line between morality and law in their victims' minds so they'll come to accept all tyranny as long as it's wrapped in a pretty package that appeases their egos.
If most people choose to think with their emotions instead of the reason, how then can we resist the malignant power shift?
Those who don't have the self-awareness to understand that their emotions impair their judgment are generally dysfunctional people. Throughout history, they have never mattered much. It is the self-aware and informed who are mature enough to realize that they must be proactive in order to protect the futures of their children. Right now, there are more who are self-aware and informed than ever, more per capita than in 1775. Counteracting this awakening are both the threat of the military-industrial complex being used against the citizens who created it, and the strategically manipulative mainstream media, shackled and puppeteered by the Obama administration and the foreign banks and corporations controlling it.
Do you think policemen and military men will choose to fight against their fellow Americans for the benefit of foreign bankers?
Most will defect when things get ugly, more than the government and the bankers are anticipating. The particularly ignorant and malevolent will follow along with the power shift and fight for the force that's actively trying to destroy the lives of their friends and families.
If most will choose to fight for the side of liberty, how can the Obama administration and the bankers successfully subvert the American people?
They want to take our legal firearms before the economy collapses. After that, most Americans will die not only from starvation but because their means to defend themselves from inner city scum was confiscated.
They want inner city scum to kill most of us.
That's why the corporatized mainstream media have for so long been brainwashing them into becoming gang bangers and choosing to lose their latent morality through propaganda. They were going to use them to destroy the diminishing remainder of decency and values instilled into America by her forefathers. Do you now see why we need to educate America and the world right now?
What was that book you read again?
The Fall of America, The Rebellion Awakens. There's a giant free sample available for viewing or downloading at geofflinsley.com and all over the web.
Thanks for fortuitous information, puppy. I'll go check it out.